my moisturizer. Is there enough in there? There might still be. Really dig it. Hello, people. Oh, yeah, there's definitely going to be enough. My dry winter face. It's actually, right now, it was like 30 degrees this morning, 30 something. But this afternoon, it's going to be, good morning, how are you? This morning, I mean, later, it's going to be I think like 62 degrees or something. What's the weather like where you are, Jonesy? In Louisiana? So yeah, it's been like up and down a little bit in here in DC, but I think it's gonna start. Good morning, Marie. Jonesy's a gentleman. I call him Jonesy. I don't know if he knows that. I just named him that in just a second. Marie, how's it going there? What's up? How's the weather there? Let's talk surface. How's the weather? How's the weather? Isn't that a great topic? So let's see. Cora stirred. It's 37. Yeah, it's about that here too, I think. And I am excited. It's gonna get warmer finally. High 50s. That's good. Yeah, we're gonna. Sorry, Jones. Like, ladies. Well, I haven't. Actually, know what's funny, Marie? We've been getting more men in here in the morning. Are men the early risers? Is that what's happening? That go on YouTube in the morning? I just brought my makeup bag up from my purse because I keep forgetting it. So I brought it up. I have some work to do today. Put out my podcast episode. Use my Mac. This guy, very persistent little bug. It's so annoying. Like, why am I getting a pimple this late in the game? I do not get pimples. I don't know what's happening. I think maybe it's the weather change. Actually, I do get it. I'm in Louisiana. I drink coffee and watch YouTube to relax before work. I love that. It's a good morning routine. You know, I teach my clients about morning routines. A lot of people don't have one. A lot of people wake up, get stressed out, and start their day. Like, they start with stress. And that will set the tone for your day and set the tone for your life, right? It's not good. I have to get up so early. I can't have a long morning routine like I used to without waking up really early, which I just can't. I'm such a night owl. I could, but next year I'll be better because Cora's school will be closer, so I can get up a little earlier by myself. Yeah, and sometimes I've been going on a little later. You've missed some, I know, because Coffee with Christy. Remember, that's what I used to call it. I just throw stuff up there now. I'm like, no one cares what it's called, right? And I don't even drink coffee. Yeah, Jones, we have another dude who comes on, but I think it's like usually the later time, like an hour from now, he's probably on. Or I don't know if he looks for, I know, Marie, you get the notifications, right? So, yeah, so Cora did her whatchamacallit, her first gymnastics. You know, she did gymnastics this past summer, but this is like a real place. This is like, it's actually an acrobat. They're specialized in acrobatics, like where people hold each other up. It's not cheer, but no, I had to reset it. Okay. Like acrobatics, it's just crazy. You get notifications. Oh, cool. Yay, they work. Because they were not working for a while. Like, people were telling me they had them set and they would never get my notifications, which was annoying. So anyway, it's an actual, like, more professional type place, you know? I mean, she's not on the professional team. They have a competitive team. I'm like, I mean, football and gymnastics, I'm not going to compare them. I'm kind of joking. But gymnastics can be a very dangerous sport. I'm going to use my Steal a Kitten old standby. And now Cora's all into this, like, well, I want to flip up in the air and do all that. Like, she doesn't really want to do cheer, though. She doesn't want to, like, shout and cheer. It's like she just wants to do the tumbling. I mean, she's in the very early stages doing, you know, like headstands, and like hopefully soon she'll be learning the like walkovers, stuff like that, which I did in gymnastics. And this is technically gymnastics, but their focus, like they are world champions for acrobatics. I was watching the videos. I'm like, oh, can she pick another path? I mean, it's just insane. They literally have like 5 people. It's like we're in a freaking circus. I guess that's what it's like 5 people balancing on each other, and they throw one up and like catch them in one hand. I'm like, Cora, can you like play soccer like a normal kid? And she's not even, I mean, I love her. Oh, she's not here. I'm always, whenever I say anything like kind of negative, she's not naturally, she's not really like an athletic kid. You know, some kids you're just like, man, they were born for this. But her passion for gymnastics like overrides her her talents with it. But you can learn anything, and she's learning more quickly than I thought, and she's becoming more fearless. Like, I had a moment, I'll be honest, watching her yesterday, I'm like, damn, now that she has the teacher, she's a little, yeah. And it's, I think, know what I think, Marie? I'm gonna throw myself under the bus. I think my mom anxiety sometimes has like halted her because she's not naturally like athletic. Yeah. When she was a little younger, she was more afraid. And I think that kind of created a dynamic of me being like, it's okay, like letting her be timid and overprotecting because I felt like, oh, she's not as agile, or I don't know the word agile, just like, you know, the gross motor skills aren't as good. I'd see her compared to other kids, right? Yeah, I know, Marie. That's what I'm saying. I created a narrative that may be false. I think it was just like how she was. Like, she was timid. I was a first-time parent. And I was thinking naturally she's not. But it might have been like we didn't give both of us, because she was timid and I was protective because she was timid and she'd fall and like get scared, whatever. I protected her too much. Like, I was a little overprotective as a first-time parent, which I know is common. I'll try not to beat myself up, but I do really feel bad because watching her yesterday, I was like, she, like, given this huge gym, given a teacher that actually knows what they're doing, observant, yeah. And she is an observer. She is. But then she'll do it. Hey, Bubble is here. Good morning. I'm talking about my daughter and how I kind of was a little too overprotective, I think, in her younger years, and it created this dynamic of her not, like, I feel like I held her back a little. So, I mean, this summer, then I was like, yeah, do gymnastics, whatever, and then she injured her back so bad. I mean, the doctor was like, you are so lucky that this wasn't worse. It was like so close to being really bad back injury. But those teachers didn't know. Oh, thank you. Likes always help my channel. You know, like, the teachers there didn't know what they were doing. They hired like kids off the street for summer camp for gymnastics, right? It's like one of those places. And since Cora didn't have the skills and they didn't pay attention, they didn't tell her what to do. They actually used a wrong mat. They used a really, did I tell you guys this? I forgot. Thanks for the other like. They used like one of those hard small mats, and they had her flip off a top platform instead of on one of the bigger cheese mats. And she didn't even know how to land. They didn't tell her how to land. Like, they didn't give her instruction, and she even asked, but they just were like, go, you know, just go, moving along. Just like it's a factory of, it's so many kids at those things, right? It's summer camp, so they stuff it and try to get money. And they were just like, go. And she was like, so she just did the best she did, flipped off a high platform onto this mat. And when I picked her up, which they didn't even call me, which is crazy, because she said she went to them and told her, and they're like, oh, put ice on it. And they're like, okay. And she couldn't do anything the rest of the day. Nobody called me. And she could, like, couldn't take a full breath when I picked her up. Because it was, I mean, I was nervous she like broke a rib or something. So, you know, I took her to the doctor, and it was her back, and it was muscles and ligaments, and she couldn't, it was luckily toward the end of summer, but she couldn't swim. Well, couldn't swim. They said, see how her comfort level is, but she shouldn't go back to gymnastics or do actual swimming lessons for at least 4 to 6 weeks, I think it was. And I was so pissed because she had just started like swimming a lot and whatever, and we were going on vacation. They said pump her with Advil the next 4 to 5 days. So I did that, and she was able to swim. That does change it, I know. But before that, I was even that way, you know? So it didn't help. I'll say it didn't help my anxiety about it. But I still was like, okay. But she was like, well, my back's better. I want to go back. Like, she didn't care. You know, some kids would be afraid, you know. She was good. Me and some friends went to play tennis court at 6 a.m. to play. Is it illegal just because you were there? No. Yeah, but yes, but I'm throwing myself under this bus. I am, Marie, because I guess though I was releasing it. She was getting older, and I was like, okay, I'm going to let her do gymnastics. I'm going to stop being a baby. And then that happened. So, but I'm going to trust. So here's the thing. So this new girl really seemed like she knew what she was doing last night. Paid very close attention. She even was like, do it again. You're leaning too much weight on your right foot, right? Oh, you did. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, you weren't a part of the club. Illegal gangster. Just being a mom, yeah. So this girl, I was like, great. And then Cora tells me last night, this girl is a sophomore in high school. And I'm like, I mean, I assume she is a gymnast herself. What are your thoughts on that, you guys? Because I'm a first-time parent. I don't know. I'm over anxious about stuff like this. Especially a sport like this. It is dangerous. It's not like soccer, which, yes, you can also get hurt, but you're not like flying into the air and like, you know, falling on your head. That head, it's a precious thing we have. We want to keep the head nice. I'm putting on I do love this stuff, tinted moisturizer, and it's 46 SPF. That's why I got it, really, for the SPF, because especially as we get older, I need to protect that skin. Well, you always need to, but Sonus the spine, what's that? I would forbid acrobatics if I had a daughter. Oh, good. So I'm in good company. Well, don't say that, Bubble. I'm trying to come out of my shell. So is the spine. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The spine, the head, they're main components to functioning. But, you know, we'll see how she does in this class. She was having fun. I mean, back to my joy when I had my moment. So I was watching her. And how it's set up, there's like a high balcony. So I was sitting up there doing work on my computer, which is great. I can do that. Like, I'm allowed to just sit. I can see her if I want. I can do my work. So I was doing work up there, just kind of glancing over once in a while. And I saw her just keep, like, she's so determined, you know? Like, she was just trying, like, the handstand. She hasn't done it in a while because she didn't do it since last summer. So she was, you know, trying to get it down, almost like perfect it, you know, so it was like nice and straight, and she kept just going up and going up, and then the next thing, so I was just watching her going from like station to station, essentially doing the different things, and she was like a cartwheel she can do, but again, she was trying to, like, she hasn't done them in a while, so she was like trying to perfect, and she just kept doing it, and she actually like fell a couple times because they were doing it a cartwheel on like a higher platform and going off of it and like round offs and stuff. But it's like she just kept, you know, you could see the focus and like passion. Like she really wants to get it. This is the only, like, she's danced since she's 18 months old. I really was like, can you just stay and dance? Sure, you can roll an ankle here and there. I was a dancer. I have arthritis in my feet because of it. But acrobatics is a whole other story. But she was never like this with dance. She wouldn't, I'd be like, why don't you practice the steps? She'd be like, like, she liked it. She enjoyed it. She loves dancing, but she didn't like the routine part of it. I don't know. She just, there was something about it. She was like, I don't want to do dance anymore. I want to go back to gymnastics. So here we are. She likes the, yes, she loves the challenge. Garden. She does, she cooks too. She cooks too, I know. I do like her to get the physical activity. And I kind of want her to be on a team, because I'm trying to think, was I ever on a team? The only team I was on was like in high school. I was on the like acting, whatever, backstage. I did acting, but I did backstage too. And I'm just doing this powder. And looking back, it's nice to be on some sort of team, you know, like, I think it teaches good lessons. So I was like, I don't know, there's a non-competitive team. She said she doesn't really want to compete. She's like, I just want to do it. So maybe she just wants to do this for fun. But she did say, she was like, she was watching like a cheerleading. She was like, I want to be the flipper. I want to be flipping in the air like that. And I was like, I never had a desire. In all my gymnastics and dance, I never had a desire for other people. I don't like depending on other people. I did gymnastics and I would flip on the, you know, the uneven bars. I remember, like, looking back, I'm like, how did I know? I mean, I know they teach you to do it, but I can't imagine now as me doing that, like flipping. So I'd start, I'm trying to think. So I'd start, I don't know, I'd flip from one bar to the next. I think the top, grab onto the bottom, flip around that, and then flip off and dismount and land. And that was just like a regular Saturday for me, you know. I actually quit because I was very competitive, and there was someone who was older than me that I felt was better, and her and I were both doing like balance beam stuff, and we were just practicing. It wasn't even like a recital or anything, show, whatever you call it. And my foot slipped a little on the balance beam. I didn't fall. I kind of, but I didn't fall to the ground or anything. But that moment, I still remember, like I can still remember in that moment, this is how crazy. I was like, I'm done. And I was thinking of her and like how she was the best. Mind you, I think she was 3 or 4 years older than me. I was really good at gymnastics. I mean, I was in chorus grade when I was doing it. And my mom was so mad. She was like, no, you need to see this through, Christy. You're very talented. And I was like, nope, I'm done. So I went to dance from there, and then I danced the rest of my life. So it worked out. I mean, I love dance, but you know, I don't know. But it is a little tricky. Gosh, I keep forgetting I need to get new mascara. This is too clumpy. It's tricky, you know, you want to let your kids do what they want to do, but then you're also like terrified because these are some dangerous sports. I hope she's not one of those kids that grows up and they're like adrenaline seeker, you know, like, I'm gonna go fly into a mountain. It's like annoying though, because these were made for, this is like the Christmas thing. Yeah, dance is fun. But also, like, I know sometimes it can be old, but with Better Than Sex, this specific mascara, they dry out like quickly. But I'm like, I don't get how this is dried out already. I'm gonna just, I don't know. Because I'm like, how can it be old? It was made for this past Christmas. Unless they dry out like in the tube. Maybe I shouldn't bulk buy them. It was like a set of 5. I'll show you. Hold on. See? So it had that. And then I got rid of one tube. But I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure this was, I mean, it was at like Ulta or Sephora for this Christmas. Okay, Marie, I'll listen to you. I will listen to you. That's what I'm trying to do. And just seeing her yesterday, I was like, and she got in the car and she goes, that's the best thing I've ever done. She's like, that's the best thing I've ever done in my life. And she goes, sign me up. Because it was like a trial class. She's like, sign me up. And I was like, I'm a little concerned that she's a high schooler. Oh, yeah. Did you say your thoughts about the girl being in high school? The coach? I don't know much about this. Maybe you don't either, about gymnastics specifically. But I'm like, hey, where did my... Oh, here it is. My makeup bag. 1-1 football. Did you... So you let them, I imagine? Yeah, football, gymnastics. And she had an interest in swimming, but she's kind of doesn't... She more just wants to swim. She doesn't want to be, like, on a swim team, you know? She's, like, just wants to go diving around for toys in the pool. You did let them, yeah. I know, we gotta just... That's the thing. My mom, I will tell you this. I love you, Mom. Sometimes she watches my videos, so I always have to scream at her. Love you, Mom. Trying not to throw you under the bus, but I always do. She loves that about me. No, but she held me back from some things I wanted to do due to her own fears. Even like I really wanted to move across the country and be an actress, and she was not having that. Oh, I did mention it earlier. I said she was in high school. So there's another coach on Saturdays. It was just Mondays worked out so nice because we could go straight from school. It doesn't interrupt the weekend, you know. And there was only 2 kids, so it's like almost like private lessons. And the girl really seemed like she knew what she's doing. I assume she's a gymnast herself because I did interview each place and was like, you know, ask them if each coach was trained as a gymnast themselves, and they said yes, that all their... Oh, I did. They said all their coaches are, but I'm still like, is that enough though? Like, even if she is that enough? I don't really know. So, oh, maybe I'll ask. Oh, my friend Amani, I don't know why I said her name like it matters. I was just thinking out loud. Ask the girl herself what training she has. Yeah. So my friend was a Redskins cheerleader, like for the team, you know, and we're in Maryland. She was a Redskins cheerleader and like competitive cheerleading. She is in that jam. So I can also ask her, is it okay if someone's like in high school? Is it enough experience to know what they're doing? I know, Marie. All right. I know. I was gonna put a call into the whatchamacallit today. The you know, the director of the place to ask about what these people's credentials are specifically for these classes. Because before we were just looking at different classes. So I was like, are all of your coaches athletes? She said, yes, they're all gymnasts. They all have years of experience. But I feel like if I ask something, and I don't know if you're saying to ask this or you're saying that, but asking, oh, you know, I don't know. They're not going to say, oh, it's not good enough, right? If it's their own place and they're trying to fill spots. Like, so that's why I feel like I need to go somewhere else to ask someone in the business, do you think it's sufficient that there's a high school student teaching this? The guy who teaches on Saturdays definitely looks older than high school. And he's on the world, like one of the world teams, you know, that is competing worldwide, but he looks older. So yeah, I was gonna call her today, but I also don't know what that woman's name was. Maybe I'll write an email so I can get an email and I'll ask credentials for both. Oh, because I feel like acrobatics and cheerleading is very similar. As far as safety, and I mean, they do a lot. Basically, acrobatics, I mean, they do very similar work. This is actually an acro and cheer gym. They do both. They're very similar. You know, the difference is there's cheering going on, a little more dancing with the cheering. But they're also balancing people and flipping people. So to me, it's kind of similar in like safety wise. Either way, you're throwing people in the air. Are we having this conversation? They have certified credentials. Yeah, so, okay. I'll have to get real specific. I have to do a little more research. And maybe ask, see, that's the thing. It's not like cheer where I feel like so many of my friends on Facebook, yeah, throwing people. I'm like, this is my life. I'm like, well, how safe is throwing people if you're 15, teaching people to throw people? But at this grade, at this age, they're not throwing people. Like at Cora's, she's in the beginner class. They're not going to be throwing anybody. So we're good for the next, through June, through mid-June, there's going to be no throwing of Cora. But I mean, she's still doing walkovers. She's still doing stuff, but it's more on the ground, right? Like somersaults, handstands, walkovers, round-offs, like that, where technically you can get hurt, but it's not going to be like when you're jumping off of something and cracking your back or throwing. Woo! No kid throwing till July, maybe. We move up to that second class. That's called the kid throwing class. And 4-year-olds teach it. Momming is so fun. This is the stuff like you don't think about when you're getting ready to parent, you know? When you're like, oh, when I grow up, I can't wait to be a mom. And then you're like, how old is too young to be teaching my daughter to throw children or be thrown? Because she wants to be thrown. She wants to be the one who's thrown. Trust your gut and don't let them throw your daughter. This is killing me. This whole conversation. I've got Marie who's like, yeah, mom stuff. I've got Marie who's like, you can't discourage her, can't hold her back. And Bubbles is like, you're crazy letting people throw your daughter in the air. No. You know, my gut says we'll see what happens in this class. I'll get more information on the instructor. I think either way at this level, it's going to be okay. But if she decides to go into, I'd love to be thrown to the ceiling, we'd have to really, then it's like, how do you keep my kids safe? I should ask how many injuries they've had in the last year. Actually, I probably don't want to know. I mean, cheerleading, same. There's a lot of injuries in cheerleading. Have you ever watched those like Netflix cheerleading shows? Anyway, what I was saying on Facebook, if it was cheerleading, I could be like, hey guys, question about cheerleading. And like, I'd have 50 people that know. Because like so many kids I feel like are in cheerleading. So many of my friends' kids. If I say, hey guys, I'm talking about acrobatics, anybody know? It'd be like birds chirping. Evil Knievel. Oh my gosh, I can't. It's like, can you do art, you know? Like, hey kid, come here. Come over here. Go trip Cora and stick your tongue out at. Actually, Cora's the type, she'd be like, I'm going to show her what's up. She's got a little feistiness in her. Know what she said, which was funny? You guys, well, Bubble, you don't know. My daughter was bullied in kindergarten. It was like a whole thing. And, you know, I'm playing, right? Yes, I know you're playing. So, of course I do. Yeah, you know I don't get offended by anything. So Cora was bullied, and I said, like, just kick them back. Like, knock him over. Punch, like, you have my permission. And she's like, she's like, I'm not doing that. I'm not you. I'm not going to do that. She's like, just because they do it, I'm not going to do it. I was like, that's very sweet of you. Then you're just going to keep, this is going to keep happening because the teachers aren't doing anything. So then I went in and I talked to the kid myself. I volunteered and I was like, kid, I'm a gangsta mom. Maybe you don't know that about me. Don't. I remember I looked her right. I made her look in my eye. I was like, look at me. And she looked and I said, do not touch my daughter again. Oh, that's so sad, Marie. It's horrible. So I took it in my own hands. They were horrible. This girl was, and Cora was a very much loved, like, wouldn't be your typical who you think would be bullied because she does have more of an outgoing personality. She is like a little bubbly and outspoken and everyone just loved her. So this girl who didn't have a lot of friends, was mean to people, so people didn't like her, started targeting her. And then she got this other boy or two other boys to start helping her. They kick her, knock her down, they break her headbands. I kept going to teacher. Teacher was not doing too much. She was having issues of her own, like health issues. I went to the principal. The principal said that's a teacher thing. And I was like, what? Did you really just say that? Walked out of there. Then finally went to the vice principal. She was a little more trying, but not good enough and not fast enough. So that's when I was like, I'm going to volunteer in the classroom this Friday. That'll be so fun, won't it? How can I help you? And then the teacher, with luck, stepped out for lunch and like an aide came in. So that was my chance. You approached, oh, good for you. Yeah, they didn't do anything. So it did stop it. But Cora, to give her her personality, like, she's bubbly and outgoing, but she don't want to hurt anybody. She's very sensitive to other people, which I am too. But I'm also like the Italian in me, and the Taurus maybe, I don't know, is like, if you mess with me or you mess with my family or my friends, game on. Like, I will come back twice as hard. It's just, I don't know. My mom is like that too. She's actually the Irish one. So maybe it's the Irish Italian. But anyway, we're feisty. And Cora wasn't like that. And now she said it was so funny. Because remember, I homeschooled her and did the virtual school, whatever. So she was home with me for a while. And she said the other day, she was like, I've gotten a lot feister in my older age, which made me laugh too because she's 8. And she's like, I think it's because I was around you for like 24 hours a day for a long time. And it just kind of wore off on me. And now I'm feistier. And I'm glad. And I was like, yeah. I was like, so now if there's a bully and they hit you, you can hit them back. And she's like, I'm still not going to. I'm like, that's probably a good answer, Cora. That's probably good that you won't. But I was attempted at being bullied in 4th grade. And I turned that around real quick myself. My son was bubbly and outgoing. When I saw him crack my son over the head, this clarinet? No. Oh, heck no. Oh, I would have brought in my own clarinet. I'm just kidding. Everybody, I would not really hurt a child. I just want that to be clear. I am speaking in a funny way. But as a child, if someone hit me, would I hit them back? Yes, that happened in high school. First week of high school. Well, she actually went to hit me. I blocked it, knocked her on her ass. I'm small, but like, it doesn't matter. You think you see, like, they pick on me because I was short and little. I was really, I mean, I'm still skinny, but I was literally like 90 pounds, 5'2", 5'1", then, I don't know, 9th grade. And I went to a rough school, and the first week, someone thought they would try me. Nope. That wasn't the last fight. That's actually, I ended up graduating early because it was like a rough school. I was starting to get in more fights because I wouldn't back down. I never started a fight ever in my life, but if someone came at me, yes, and I went ballistic, but talked kindly to him. I did too. Kindly but firmly. They picked on him because he was a minority. Oh, yeah. And this girl, I said to her, because I just started playing trains with her, and I was like, you seem like a nice kid. And she was like, and we were talking, and I was like, yeah, you seem sweet. I said, no, it's weird. No, what's weird about that? My daughter said that you've been hurting her. And she was like, I was like, is that true? And she just stared like she wouldn't answer. And I was like, yeah, I heard that you're kicking her and hitting her, taking her headbands, breaking her stuff. That doesn't seem like you. You seem very nice. She was like, just staring with these big eyes. And I was like, so I think you should try being nice more. That's much better. I'm just telling you now, it's much better to be nice. And she looked down and I said, can you look at me? Look at me. Look at me in the eyes. She was like, and I was like, I didn't do that, but that'd be funny, right? I was like, don't touch my daughter again, okay? And she was like, and that was it. Sometimes that's all it takes. Was my husband like, I can't believe you did that? Maybe. He would never do anything like that. He's, introverted and just doesn't do that. My mom was like, good. That's right. Gotta stand up for her. She's from New York. And was I a little afraid the teacher might find out? She might tell her parents. Yeah, kind of, but more afraid that my daughter keep getting it. So what choices do we have when the admin and the people that are supposed to keep them safe are not keeping them safe every day? Boom. Boom. It's a hair clip. I don't know why it's in my hand or why I'm chomping with it. And now it's 37 minutes. We had a whole heck of a... Actually, I got to brush my hair. You got me for another minute. I have... What time is it? Yeah. Okay. I have to be around at 10 o'clock. Wow. There's that. Rawr. That's another side of Christy, huh? That's morning hair with Christy. Thank you, Bubble. I thought you might approve of that. You seem like the type that would want to stand up for what's right. And especially when it comes to our kids, like, we're mama and papa bears, and nobody gonna get away with... I'll get kicked out of a school before I'll let something like that happen, So anyway, now she's more feisty and she wants to be thrown across the gym. There were these girls climbing up the rope. It was like really tall ceilings, and I'm just watching them. Cora's like, I want to do that. I was like, you stay right there in your chair. Stand up for what's right. Yes. Woo! So we just got to pray that Cora will go back to dance. I'm just kidding, Marie. I'm not going to stop her from her dreams because I know what it feels like. That's the difference. I didn't want to do crazy flips into the ceiling or have people throw me, so I can't relate to that. But I wanted to go far away. I wanted to go to California. My dream was to be in the entertainment business in California. And I love my mom, but she had a lot of anxieties. And even when I was an adult, and this is something that can happen when you create that dynamic of fear in a child, it can carry into adulthood. And there were guilt trips, there were guilt trips. And, with devastating results. Wait, what was the devastating results, Marie? There were guilt trips that carried into my adulthood from her and other people. Never tell her there are cannons that can shoot me. Next thing you know, I'll be like, hey guys, it's me. It's like next year. I'm like, well, we have this weekend we'll be out of town. We have a competitive cannon shooting contest that Cora's in. I'm missing your post? Yeah, I don't know. With devastating... Oh, was it the one ballistic but talked kindly to him? They picked on him. Yeah, I don't know if it's... The last one I had before devastating results was... And I went ballistic but kindly talked to him. They picked on him because he was a minority. That was the last one. I don't know. Is that the one you're talking about? Is that the one? So anyway, yeah. It was... So it carried into adulthood. My point is, I get it, Marie, where it's it's hard on us as parents, but what's worse is squashing our kids if they have a passion. And this, I've never seen her so excited or passionate about something ever. And that's how I was even with dance. And I got to do dance, but then I was like, really, really, my dream was to go act and be in California and move there, you know? Why school have problems? Because staff does nothing. Yes, with devastating results. Yeah, we know, we see that in the news, right? I mean, how much has, especially since social media, how much has, I don't want to say the word, I don't know if I get blocked, but the increase in people not wanting to live, you know, it's increased so much. And with the pandemic, even more. My therapist friend was like, 2020 was like the worst time of her life because of, she lost some of her patients because it was just so hard, and people are awful on social media. Kids, there was a threat actually in Cora's school. We got a note yesterday, and she goes to like a really nice private school. There was a note that went out, said, we found out of an incident that there was a threat of a weapon threatening another student. We've gone to the appropriate authorities, blah, blah, blah. Like, people are crazy. So we only live once. You got to do the things that light you up. I preach it. I can't take it from my daughter. Can I put her in a helmet and bubble wrap? Maybe. All right. Have a beautiful day. It's 41 minutes. It's time to go. When it goes over 40 minutes, it's, you know, that's quite a time you've had here. I hope your coffee's not cold. But I love yous. I love these little chats. And, oh, we didn't do our Jesus calling. So we'll just go out with, God, please guide us today to do the things you want us to do, and give us peace in our hearts and guide us to make the right decisions and bring us joy for us and others. Amen. I don't know. Deuces. Smooches and deuces for me and God. Bye. This is a weird wave. I never want to do that again.